Good morning and welcome back to Indie Gamer, the Dev of Night. Today I'm gonna be creating. I've put the Montreal tunnel there, but it's not really working and it's not the right size, so I'm gonna replace that with a basic model of the Stronghold, the castle, just behind me that you can't see, but it's there. um, so I'll delete that, and I'm gonna go back to Blender and start recreating this. So I'm setting up my cube. There's this thing, and I'm gonna start by deleting half of it. And that's so you can see the keys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No. No. I can't remember. How do I... yes, that's... come on. Oh, well, I can't remember. Like, Blender, when I'm trying to do something specific, I don't know. It's like muscle memory. I don't know the shortcut. It's just weird. Yeah, I'm in Blender, so why? Anyway, I thought it was that, but okay, so I've raised my cube, I split it in the middle, and I deleted one half so I can actually do a mirror. So the mirror is gonna create the same thing, but on this side, I want it to be on the y-axis. And so now everything I'm gonna do is gonna be replicated on the other side. You can see that by having the details on the side you can edit and not on the other side that is gonna just be mirrored. So that's pretty handy. So there's one big part like that. It's on 3 stories, so I probably should move that up a bit. So I have my 3 big stories. They are big stories. So it's 3 stories. But it feels like 4. So because it's a stronghold, it's a castle, it's probably gonna be like that. And that should be probably a bit more like that. And then I have another third. There's gonna be 1.5 for each. And there's these. There's like a small separation on this side. And then the roof. Oh, I just woke up. Ooh. And I stood up too quickly. I'll leave it like that for now. I have a triangle decoration from, I think, Le Théâtre des Célestins, so I'm not gonna do it again. I think that probably needs to be further up like that, because there's 6 windows and the door in the middle. So there's 2 and there's 1 more, so the door is going to be 1, if not 2. So, like, that's the tricky thing, is to have a proper idea of the shape, like just to be at scale for the different parts. So the door, 1, 2, but that's not enough. So the door, 1, 2. Yeah, and that's gonna be there. Okay, cool. And for that, probably not like that. I probably need to make it a tiny bit wider on the x-axis. Cool. So it doesn't change much, but it's just so I can prepare my separations, and that's kind of the one for the door. And the windows. Can I see it if I can see it if I can move that? And that's pretty and that's kind of alright. Pam pam pam. Okay, and so there in the middle of those two ones I have that, which sounds kind of good. It probably should be a bit more shallow. I'll figure that out after, when I have the windows installed. So that's alright. I probably should take all that and remove the floor. Yeah. And maybe I should actually do the same for the top. Bam. So it makes my geometry way simpler, because the roof is gonna be simpler to do like that. Now I have those two things that I need to split. One. Is it straight, or is it a corner? It might be a corner. Huh? I think it is actually. I'm going to stop here. And that should go like that. And that should then I can probably split it like that, wide it up, and lift that up. I set one to be at the same height as the other, and that works. And now I can just scale that up on X a bit more, yeah. And now I can just move this one over here, bam, bam, and probably move that a tiny bit on Y. Okay. How does that look? Looks pretty alright. Need to be careful with my triangles there, they're not folding in the right corner, and that's okay. Yeah, that's okay, because I'm gonna, so now that this basic shape is done, I'm gonna create a different material. I'm gonna click new. This is the material tab. So on the new material tab, I'm creating a new one. So I'm creating a new material, and I create a new something to assign to it. So that's the material that is going to be. I don't really know how to call the difference between this material and the actual new. I probably will have to do a new one. So I'm creating a material slot, and that's the materials itself. So that's the slot, and that's the materials. And so the material, you create a new one, you just assign a color, you can put a texture, whatever, but that's going to be handled in Unity, because all my materials and texture are in Unity, so I don't have to do that in Blender, which is a specificity of the development that I'm doing. And so I'm gonna assign, I'm usually setting the top parts where you can walk in red, and then so you have to do 1, 2, that's the 2 floors, and there's an extra small window at the top, so that's the split, and I need to do probably 1, 2, select all of them, and I'm gonna scale them on the z-axis. So the window at the top is a bit reduced, and then no, I want this and these to be scaled up as well, and this should not be that low. So I have my window, 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 done. I have my 3 windows on each side, and I have my door there that I can actually delete as well, and then there should be 2 big windows on top, and so for this one I'm probably gonna scale that up. Hey kitty girl. it's at the same height as the other one. And so I need to do that this way. And that's my two windows in the hall, in the stairs. Oops. Ah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm gonna cancel that. And I'm just gonna delete that. Yeah. So the door is gonna be adjusted as well, because that should probably go down anyway. So that's better this way. That's gonna be stairs. Perfect. And I'm just gonna move this one up. But damn. And because that as well should probably go up. That is gonna be like that in the middle, and that's gonna give me the separation for the decoration, and that is gonna be maybe I will even be able to do this over here. Bam. And then that means I have to extrude this pixel, so then I can create a face with these three. So yeah, that's pretty good. So managing all that is, you get used to it as you create more and more models and stuff, and that probably should go a bit further because it should be aligned with the rest. Ta-da! And I probably need to make it go further up the road. No, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. What can I do, if I really want to, is move all that as well. But for now, it's gonna be good enough. I'm not gonna destroy it too much before I actually get started. I'm gonna put it in Unity, and I'll test the scale and everything and the texture. I'm just gonna fix that roof that is bugging me, and to do that I'm gonna merge those two ones in the corner and merge this one in the corner. So I keep the shape, but I also fix my corner. See how now the roof is clean? Because there, when I created it, it actually kind of split my face horizontally there instead of like that. I don't know why it does that. Usually you have one angle that is fine and the other one that is not. It's probably the way Blender handles that. It's not a big deal, it's just that I've noticed that it's always a bit like one side is okay and the other side is not. And so now I have a clean roof that is matching the shape of my building. I'll have to probably do see, for example, I can do something like that. I can create another face there. And actually I'm gonna use this texture because it's gonna be like some wood or something like that to do that. And I'm actually also gonna sorry, I'm gonna check my normal to see if it's going the right way, and it's not. So the normal is the way the face is facing, because on one face, if the normal is going this way, so that's the small blue marks there, the small vertex or edge. And so if it's my face is like that and my normal is going this way, then a standard shader will only display the texture on the face where the normal is. So this is going to be rendered, but the other side is not going to be rendered. There's not going to be any texture for basic shaders. After that, you can tell in Unity the shader to actually render the two sides of the face with the same texture, but that's not by default. And that's also not useful, because if you have let's say a dinosaur. So you have a dinosaur and you create the mesh for the dinosaur. Only the texture outside is important. So if you have one face there and you display also the texture on the other side, which is inside the dinosaur, then no one is going to see it. So you're actually losing performance because you're trying to render the two sides of one face with the same texture, but the other side of the face is never going to be seen by anyone. So you always have to consider that. So start with one face, and maybe you want to have the two sides of the face to be two different texture. So for that, you would need to create actually a different face on the inside to display the different texture. And that's where the other modifier that I'm using a lot is coming into place. So my texture is going to be displayed on the outside there, so displaying that wall. And so to do the inside, I usually just create like add a different modifier that is solidifying the, like duplicating in a way, creating a thickness for this single face. So it creates actually two faces. Then when you apply this modifier, you can modify it, and therefore you can give a different texture to the whole inside. So that's more interesting to do it this way. So I've added the modifier and I have increased the thickness so we can actually see it a bit more. But see how it's the same as for the mirror modifier. You can't edit the inside, but then when you actually apply it, then you can. So that's why that's important to do that this way. But it did it also for the roof, and I probably don't want that. And it's pretty big now. I usually put .2. It's pretty thick because the model is pretty small, and so if I want the wall to be a bit smaller compared to the side of the building, I can actually scale it up. And so you see it's a bit more normal now, and if I increase it again, but I forgot to actually, when you do that, it's good to use the 3D cursor because it's keeping the shape a bit more. Because when you do the median point, it's actually using a kind of middle in there, and so it's kind of fucking it up. And that's all. I think I'm gonna create, as I'm here, I'm gonna create a basic floor so I can use it as well, because I'm gonna use it in Unity for sure. I'm gonna duplicate it and stuff, so I might actually just create one right now. And for that, it's probably better, and I'm gonna, when you press P, you can separate some stuff. Hey, de la musique. And I'll do the same for the roof, because the roof needs to be separated, so I can have the mirror modifier but not the solidify modifier. Okay, And that's tricky when you have the solidify modifier, because sometimes you actually don't see how it's put together. But that's where the experience come in. So I'm gonna separate that as well. So now I have 3 models. I have my floor that I need to improve. Okay, I have my floor. I have but the solidify is giving me some weird shit. Sorry. Language, and so I need to see how my solidify is kind of doing a weird thing there. It's because my there you go. Ah. Yeah, there you go. But there you go. So that's flat, and that's alright. I can probably, I'm gonna leave it like that, but I'm gonna lift it up a bit, and I'm gonna maybe just scale it up at 99. Oh no, at scale at 101. Oh, 101, so I can see it on the outside. But this one, I'm gonna scale it up from the medium, and I'm gonna keep it clipped. So it's a bit bigger, and I want it red. I want it mirrored, and I want it red so I can see the difference. Okay, and this one though, I don't want the solidify modifier. So why is this? Where did that come from? Oh, that's... Oops. Oh, but it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad like that. Should I keep it this way? But then that means I have to... Nay. But what is this from? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's why. Okay. See, there's always tiny details that you're like, oh, where did that come from? And so this is my roof. I want that blue. And I want that blue. I want that to be created first as well. I'll have to double check if there's this thing on the other side as well, because I might need to actually do it on both sides. So I'll just do that for now, and that's gonna be blue. And because otherwise it's gonna be a pain for that as well. So I can probably do that. I need to remove the clipping option. Oh, it's not. to remove that then, and now that goes like that. But yeah, so that's okay. I can remove then that. No, I can't. I need to. I could. No, I can't. I should probably then. See how this finally doesn't serve me, so I can it's not that simple, is it? It's not a big deal. It's kind of better like that, but that means, yeah, it's kind of good like that, but I won't have, I need to do something with that, but I could probably say this does not, should not be linked and then split it up, but I'll leave it like that for now, but because there's, I want this to be thick as well, well, kind of covered, I probably will have to do a different like extrude this edge and create one to cover that like that. So I'll extrude it on the y-axis, bring it up there, and there it's gonna be kind of doubling the texture of the roof, but then it's gonna create that cover for the whole inside. And I'll need to also raise that. I'll probably do that as well. Is it the same on this side? No, it's not. It's only this that I got. Okay. It's only this that I've pushed there and that I've pushed here. Okay. Pretty good. And that's giving me a pretty good start. So, how are we gonna call that? Castle. Why not? Castle, so that's the walls. That's the floor. I put just F0 because it's, then I can rename them and be F1, F2 or whatever, and that's gonna be castle roof. And I'm gonna save that as in buildings, castle BCH. That's alright. Bam. And now that I have that done, I can go back in Unity and look for it. I don't need the texture, so I can remove that. Something's going on with the materials, so I'll have to double check the normals. But it's just a detail for now. I just want to see if it fits. Will it fit? It does fit. It should probably be a tiny bit bigger. And so you can select all now. That's something that is pretty handy because you can select all and edit all at the same time. And so from my 3D cursor, which should be at the origin, we're just gonna increase, so scale it up to maybe 1.5. Maybe I should check my roof normal, not my roof. So it seems that my I can't see my yes, now I can. Okay. So that should be better. Okay, cool. Much better. And the size looks alright. It's just that I need to push the walls. Bam. So that's okay. And I can push those walls a bit more. I'm gonna just add quickly a texture. We're gonna start with the walls. Concrete. I'm gonna put this kind of concrete. I'm gonna put some tiles. Yeah. And I'm gonna put some wood. Yeah. And I'm gonna put some wood on the floor. Okay, so that's okay, but see how my texture don't actually look good on any of the surfaces. It's because I've stretched them and the UV is actually not properly unwrapped. So we're gonna select everything again and we're gonna just do quickly a quick cube projection. Save, re-import, and that's a bit better. It's not, I haven't, that's not, I'm gonna check that. There you go. And, oh, why not? Oh, and this is not in the right direction as well. So my texture there should be like that as well. Because you see, I can see through there. That means the face is not orientated the right way. There you go, much better. And we have a basic castle. The thing is, you can probably add a mesh collider and a nav mesh modifier. That's kind of new. the roof as well, and the floor as well. Or we're just gonna, yeah, no, as well, same. But then, wait. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna put the mesh collider on the different meshes, but I'm gonna put the mesh modifier on the parent, because one of the options is to actually apply to children. So it's simpler and it still does the job perfectly. Now I'm just gonna create the prefab, and to do that I'm gonna add this as well, everything but not batching. I said no, I believe. Yes. So okay, I'm confused. I should have said yes. And batching, yes to children. So it's all basics, but the static, the batching static. And we're driving that in the building prefab folder, which is creating me this folder with the nav mesh, with the colliders and the textures. And that's it for the Stronghold, the castle in Rush. I know it's complicated, I know it took 40 minutes for that, but that's part of the deal. On this note, thanks to my Patreon, as you can see, I've kind of refined a bit my presentation. I still have my fruits, but that is only for the indie games reviews. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, this kind of improvisation on Blender/Unity, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to support and be there, just do it and go to Patreon. Links are everywhere. You can check the websites, you can check the social medias, and learn and support me in what I'm doing. And on that note, I need to go get another coffee. I'll see you later.